situation, like we said. But yeah, man, tune into the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast with your brother, Old God, and Sam, man. I'm going to transition over here to this other story, man. The other day, man, we were all watching Instagram, and I don't know if you've seen it, but I seen it, and I seen young Jeezy. And we seen him posted up with his new wife now. And her name is Jeannie Mai, and she's a Vietnamese and Chinese descent. Very happy. But a particular picture that he posted up, he was getting a lot of backlash. And one thing says, I swear y'all love y'all white girls, and a whole bunch of things. You know, they're pretty much criticizing young Jeezy for marrying interracially, dating or marrying outside his race with a Chinese Vietnamese woman. Sam, man, your thoughts on these people who are dragging young Jeezy, who said Jeezy should just be with a black woman. I can't believe he went outside his race. What's your thoughts on that?
Save your money so we can get some economic power before you start complaining on who somebody's sleeping with.
Right.
Save your money so that we can have some economic power so that we can do some things and stop worrying about who the fuck is sleeping with who. Now, listen, I don't like brothers in particular. I'm going to talk about brothers who date outside of their race and totally negate their own. I hate that. I don't like that at all. Your mother's black, your grandmother's black, your aunties are black.
Right.
Don't sit back and say you don't like black girls. I hate black girls. I'm going to date this girl.
Right.
She's totally shitting on your race. I can't stand that. I think there's a nice place in hell for brothers like that. But if that brother decides to date a white girl, that brother decides to date an Asian girl, that brother decides to date a Hispanic girl, whatever the other race is, I'm not going to look at him wrong. I'm not going to look at him indifferent, because his intent, his love, his overall feeling is still pro-black. Just because you date outside of your race don't mean you don't love your own.
Right.
It does not mean that. But we get a bad stigma, particularly black, that if we go outside of our race, we automatically are.
I mean, people are going to take the stance like, oh, he grew up, in Atlanta. Had all them sisters supporting him, and now he gonna get some Chinese girl. I don't know why they call her white, because white and Chinese and Vietnamese are two different things, but they like to always call anything white.
Non-black is white.
Yeah, they always say that, man. I think it's just silly, man. If this man found love wherever he found it, be happy for him. I mean, I think a lot of people probably mad because they couldn't get him, but you never know a particular guy's situation. You never know what he's been through. You don't know who he's around. You don't know what type of experience he had to pick her. Maybe that was the only woman he fell in love with. I mean, you don't know. So I think it's just ignorant for people to pass judgment, about this. But you expect it. I'm sure Jeezy, when he put the picture up and announced what he announced, I'm sure that he expected this backlash, but I don't think it's going to last long. It'll be water under the bridge for him, and hopefully they can live happily ever after, man. I have no quarrel with him doing what he wants to do, man. I don't care if he was green.
Yeah, I think a lesson learned is just keep your fucking business off of social media, because then people that get on there, and now this turned into a big story. You got the media outlets picking it up and things like that.
Yeah.
Over your relationship. Man, look.
That's crazy.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
We need to try to just focus on better things. God damn, you really worried about who somebody's sleeping with? I got enough problems worried about who the fuck I'm sleeping with, let alone worried about who you sleeping with and that man.
Right.
Man, oh man, let's steer our energy to something different, man. If y'all fuck with Jeezy before y'all found out who he was dating, I'm sure that brother ain't changed much.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Yeah, man, but you're tuned into the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast with your brother, Old God, and Sam, man. We're going in today on this Thursday. Everybody listening, we need you to do us a favor. Go ahead and hit that 5-star rating, and do not forget to subscribe to the podcast. Now, Nicki Minaj, man, she's been making headwaves, the last few days. And in particular, I want to talk about, first, and then I'll tie it into the situation with her boyfriend, I think, right now. They got married, didn't they?
Marriage license. I don't know if they're
okay. Yeah, something. She calls her name Miss Petty right now. Well, first and foremost, it was a media outlets are covering. I guess it was an Instagram live that Nicki Minaj was on yesterday, and her boyfriend flashed an extended clip on Instagram live. There's some pictures right there available if you want to look at them online, or if you're on YouTube. If we place this up, we'll put it on the screen there. But Petty is a convicted felon. He was seen carrying a gun and an extended clip in his pocket, and this photo has went viral. Now, what's crazy about this is that back in 2002, he was convicted of first-degree manslaughter in the shooting death of a man. He served 7 years in prison. Then he pleaded guilty to the charges, and he also this is the crazy part about this, is a level 2 registered sex offender in New York, and he will be required to register as a sex offender for the rest of his life. Now, After this dropped, Nicki Minaj posted this up on her Instagram, and this is making shockwaves. She said, "I've decided to retire and have my family. I know you guys are happy now. To my fans, keep repping me. Do it to the death. X in the box because ain't nobody checking me. Love you to life." So immediately after that incident went down, I'm not saying there's a correlation. It could be. Nicki Minaj announces her retirement. Now, before I go, something told me, a little birdie was like, maybe she's doing this to kind of just divert the attention away from the situation with her husband or boyfriend, Mr. Petty, showing extendo on Instagram Live. Crazy, I a crazy nigga. But anyway, what's your thoughts on this whole situation, man?
Man, look, I saw this. I was at the doctor's appointment 30 minutes ago with my daughter, right? And I got my woman with me, loves fucking Nicki Minaj. I show her Nicki Minaj retires. She's like, oh, she wants to start a family. She wants to do this. Oh, okay, cool. That's what the consensus maybe what the women are thinking.
Right.
The first thing I thought was, told you, because we talked about this a month ago when she was doing the podcast and we were figuring out what the next move for Nicki Minaj is, because currently where she's at, it's not going to work for another 2 or 3 years. The shaking of the ass, the hot girl summer stuff is all dope and cool, but 35 and older was good.
Yeah.
What's popping? Where's the evolution at in your music? You are regarded as one of the best MCs in the last 10, 15, 20 years in both the female and male genre. You hear what's going on in the female genre. There's a renaissance in female artists doing great things, but you got a lot of prominent male contemporaries that think y'all ain't doing nothing but shaking your ass and giving strip music. Yeah. You being at the top of that, even though you got your Cardi B's and Megan Thee Stallions, everybody sitting there neck and neck with you, people still look at Nicki Minaj as that kind of quintessential hip hop female artist.
Yeah.
It was a confusing time. She had Queen Radio. We've seen a lot of different artists transition into the podcast game. We also talked about that. Maybe the money ain't where it used to be. Yeah. Maybe she felt as though another album, hey man, I don't have the energy to put out another album. I don't know. When you talked about this situation, though, because this was my first time hearing it about the extendo and all that. I just heard that just now. Man, is she trying to divert attention? Now, we both said we don't know this brother, never met the brother, never heard anything about the brother, but we can look in the brother's eyes. We can look in the man's face and tell, yeah, that motherfucker's about that life. And I don't mean in a good way. I mean in a institutionalized way. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't know what's going on in there. All I can do is wish her and her man the best of luck. If you're trying to just be successful and trying to be positive and trying to keep this intact, I'd keep that shit off of social media too.
Yeah, you got to be smarter than that, man. I mean, like, damn.
That gun shit is
you're a registered offender, and who knows that this goes up on YouTube. We'll talk about it on the podcast, but you got all these outlets now posting this up. So the next thing that could come, the police and say, shit, we seen you, we coming through. You know what I mean? You already an offender. You already, I'm sure he's not on parole anymore, but you're in the system and you're not supposed to have this shit. You're never going to see, I know I'm a felon, convicted felon, so there's no way you ever see me on camera with a gun unless my record's expunged, and I know. So you just got to be smarter than that. But a lot of rappers do that, man.
What does it say about the people around him? And let's just say Nicki Minaj, that's the only person we know around him to allow that shit to go down. Me knowing your situation, if I seen you with a gun, I'm calling you like, yo, what the
I mean, well, if you look at the picture, it's like Nicki Minaj. She kind of got like holding him like, chill. I don't know what she said. I didn't see the live, but it kind of looked like she's like, yo, chill. You know what I'm saying? When you look at the picture, see that. You know what I'm saying? He's sitting there like he's aloof. He's a dumbass nigga. He's like, fuck it. I got my, I'm a hood nigga, but you can't do stuff like that because everybody's watching. This is Nicki Minaj. I think like it's 20 people in your live, people that you know, and you could take it down. She might have 50,000 motherfuckers in there screenshotting, and this is how the media outlets got it. So. Crazy situation for Nicki, but again, wish them the best, man. We already talked about this guy, Petty, and his, what he did in the past and whatnot. Okay, water under the bridge. He moved on from it. We wish them the best, but silly mistake with the extendo on there. And Nicki Minaj, I wish her the best as well. I think her time has ran her course. She had a long career in rap. It's time to move over and stop being bitter and jealous. Not to say that she probably is, but maybe some females, her and Cardi had their thing going back, but it's time to just, move on and just, be a queen and relax. It's cool. I think they're near 40.
Okay, you believe her though? You think that she's really done?
Not really.
I don't believe her at all.
Yeah, hell no.
I don't believe her at all. I think that, this is just something, a headline to make a headline.
Yep.
And next week she could be making music and could totally fucking forget about this conversation. It makes sense that she's probably trying to divert attention.
Of course, it'll work.
Her fiance, from her man, the person that she's put out there and just highlighted as being hey, this is my king of all kings. This is what I was looking for. This is my man. But then it makes sense, or it doesn't make sense, or I'm interested to see what she's going to do, because Nicki, historically, when we've seen her with men, she doesn't like a lot of drama. Even with the little stuff that went on with Meek Mill out in the public, she ain't like addressing that or talking about that. When he got into the situation where they were no longer together and talking about his court, that it's not a comfortable conversation with her. Even when it came to her brother,